So far we've been looking at Kindle categories. Now, Kindle isn't the only way to make money out of writing your books, right? So since Amazon has released their own paperback feature, you can release a Kindle book as a paperback in just a couple of minutes. Okay, it doesn't take much formatting. It doesn't take much. The covers do not have to. There's even a cover creator. Okay, maybe this particular course does not handle all of those things, but it's very easy to do all of those things in Kindle, and you can release a book in both the Kindle version and a paperback version at the same time. In fact, I've done that. That's why I'm telling you. So the books market as such is a huge market. Okay, so you shouldn't just stop at just Kindle. If a book doesn't sell in the Kindle, that doesn't mean that it doesn't sell in the bookstore. In physical books format, it probably does sell as physical books. For example, let's look at the children's book section. Similarly, let's go to the children's book. So we were in the books area. In books, under books, we came to children's book, and let's go to, where were we before? Animals again. Okay, now see, okay, so these are items that I already viewed. So see, this is, so even when I'm in incognito, and even when I'm not signed in, it still tracks everything. Look at some of the bestsellers. Some of the bestsellers are obviously huge sellers, but there were 80,000 books as such in the animal section. Now if I go to the elephants again in here, let's see if it sells as well. Just elephants. Okay, is there any other subcategory in here? No, but there is the age range. That's also a subcategory if you ask me. It could be beginner, and you can also do it like this: coloring books, beginning readers, touch and feel books. See, it opens up a lot more. Coloring books, you can't release coloring books in Kindle. Okay, you can't release board books in Kindle. You can't release touch and feel books in Kindle. Now you have a lot more options now when it comes to Kindle. In Kindle, there were only 70 or so books in the elephant section, but in the book section there are a lot more. There's a lot more you can do here. Okay, there's even a bestseller. Strictly No Elephants. It's a bestseller. It's obviously written by a very prolific writer, but that's not what I'm talking about here. You see it's in 1,500 in books. That means it's selling thousands of copies every single day, and it's sold as a hardcover, right, and as a paperback and a hardcover. So they are making probably $5,000 to $10,000 every single day, in my opinion. If I'm calculating this right, they're probably making more than $5,000 with just one book. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you. Don't just stick to the Kindle version of it. Now that you can release the Kindle version as a paperback as well, now that Kindle has made everything easy to do that, you should go for paperbacks as well. You should release paperbacks, and you should see if the book market is if there is a market for your book in the book market. If there's no market in the Kindle market, look if there is one for the book market. Now, A Parade of Elephants, it seems to be a very new book, and let's see and it's written by a person who's both an author and an illustrator, and the book sells well. It's at 3,000. Now again, it's making thousands of sales. This person seems to be very prolific though. They seem to have a lot of books, so they probably have a huge following, so that's why they could come up very soon. So that's something that you need to think about. Maybe you can go further in here. Maybe you can go to Baby 2 to reduce the number of results. So there's only 163 results in Baby 2 under the elephants category, and you can look at books that, okay, this is Disney. Okay, I'm not going there. This is Disney as well. Let's look at books where it's not written by Disney. Okay, this seems good. What else? Now this as well. It's a touchy-feely book though. If you can release touchy-feely books, then you should definitely go for it. Okay. Okay, this one. Well, it's still in the 100,000 section, okay? There is barely any competition in here. There's only 163, and this particular book only has 7 reviews, and it's a board book though, so you need to think about that. If you can create a board book, fine, but if you can't, there's a problem. Look at that. A nice little book. So this is how you can do your research, okay? So you can come to just the animal section, but that has a lot of results. In even the baby 2 section, it has 10,000 and more results. There's a lot more animals in this than the Kindle section. There's bugs and spiders, there's alligators, there's apes and monkeys, squirrels, pigs. These weren't there in the Kindle version of Kindle section, okay? These are there now. Okay, so now you can look at the bestsellers in here, and you can, oh well, Caterpillar sells well apparently, but that's a huge book with 4,000 reviews, so results are probably skewed. Now what else? You can this is how you can look at your topics and know which sell well. If you look at the birds in here again, you don't see the same book. See, people do a very big mistake, okay? It's very easy to release a paperback version of a Kindle book, but people don't do that. Okay, they don't want to take up the time to learn how to do that. They don't want to take up the time to do that. So they just release the Kindle version because it's the easier one, and they leave it at that, but they're leaving a lot of money on the table. Okay, look at this. This is a huge market. Paperbacks. Physical books are a huge market, and a lot of people are not tapping into that. So if you do tap into that, you will have a leg up over the other people. See? Okay. Apparently, okay, let's look at this paperback. This is a paperback that is selling well. It's a very old paperback. We don't know if it's selling well, but it's a very old paperback. Well, it is selling well. It's at 65,000 in books. That's selling well. So that was just a random book that I selected, and it's selling well. It also has a board book version, but the paperback is selling well. Let's see if the board book version is selling well as well. It's not. The paperback is selling better. So now you know that you can release a paperback of birds, and you stand a chance of making money. So this is a whole new world in here. Okay. Not just this, you can actually go back. Let's actually go back to the books section. Where is this? Okay, let's go back to books, and you can, in fact, now you can come to the hobbies thing, where a lot of these things are actually, see, coloring books, crafts and hobbies, antiques and collectibles. These things, needle crafts and textile crafts. Now these things probably sell much better in books rather than in Kindle. Okay, mending matters. Nice. The bestsellers. Look at the bestsellers. Maybe swearing will help. It's an adult coloring book. Look at all the things that you can do here. Okay, shoes page a day gallery. There's a friendship bracelets. Oh, look at that. A paperback of how to make friendship bracelets. And it's just paperback. It does not have any other versions of it, just paperback. And it's selling at 5,000 in books. Now that's huge. That's a lot. And when was it released? It was released in 2001, and it's still selling. Okay, this is just how to make friendship bracelets, and it's just a paperback, which means there's no fancy board things or anything. It's just a paperback, and you can just release that in KDP. You can release that in Kindle. You should just write it, include the images that are needed, type it out, and release it as a paperback with your KDP. And this is a #1 bestseller in weaving. So now see, look at all the things that you can do now. Okay, with just paperback, look at everything that you can do. So this is how you can go into categories in both Kindle and books, and you can look at how things work. Okay, now that's one part of it. Now that's just going into the category page and everything. Now there's also another way of doing this, that is going into the bestseller. Okay, going into the bestseller of each of these categories and see if it's worth it by looking at the bestsellers. Now we'll look at how to do that in the next lesson. Okay, I'll see you there. Thank you.